One of the things I use this channel for is to document my journey, so to speak, as I catch up on film and other media that have come out over the past few decades, and share it with anyone who's willing to listen to me ramble on for a few minutes. In fact, that's basically what Goober Score is. It's a public diary of film reviews. And as usual, I'm late to the party, but this time around 45 years late, because last night I watched the 1979 film Alien. It's a classic, and I felt the need to educate myself in the ways of the classic sci-fi horror films of the past century. So I think most of this film's grandeur rests upon the shoulders of its incredible art direction and atmosphere. The sets and visuals are frankly incredible. The designs for the alien, the xenomorph, which it doesn't I don't think it actually mentions anywhere in this first movie specifically that the alien is called a xenomorph, but apparently it is the xenomorph. Um, and the design for the xenomorph was super, super cool. I love the design for the xenomorph. And then the spaceship, obviously, is incredible. The just the sets and the visual effects and all of that are great. Like the it feels like a place you could actually go, which I mean, in a way that's what a lot of movies do, but at the same time like it's very well done, especially for something so like dark and in a way kind of abstract such as this very futuristic spaceship. And I did a little bit of research for this video, and apparently the movie was somewhat influenced by Star Wars, which I kind of noticed. There are a lot of little things with like the ships and some of the like I guess technology visual design that look very similar to Star Wars. It's not just a whole lot, but it is in some way impressive how they took, I guess, like that level of inspiration from Star Wars only like 2 years after the original Star Wars movie released, because this came out almost exactly 2 years 2 years after, just a little more. It did, however, take a bit of a darker and more pessimistic approach to the portrayal of like futuristic sci-fi. It's definitely not as happy-go-lucky as Star Wars or other types of sci-fi from the time. Also, it's neat how it seems that like the xenomorph kind of represents the vastness and the danger of outer space and the kind of dangers of exploring it. And I'm pretty sure like yeah, I'm not the most caught up, I guess, on my history. Probably more than the average person if I had to guess, but I'm pretty sure like roughly like 10 to 20 years earlier. It was like the moon landing, or maybe around this time. I'm not 100% sure. So it's definitely like, I think, like kind of an interpretation of what the future of space exploration could look like. And space, I think, is very, vast and terrifying. And it's scary to think of like what could be out there, and sometimes even scarier to think that there could really just be nothing out there, and that nothing is still so terrifying and so deadly to us. And I feel like the alien kind of represents that in some capacity. Editing Viz here, I'm sure you can tell because I'm wearing a different shirt. This is my editing shirt. But anyway, I just wanted to elaborate on what I was saying about the xenomorph and how this movie relates to the moon landing. I think the moon landing is so relevant because it is really the first major step in the direction of space exploration that humanity made. And it was pretty, like, a decade might seem like a long time, but especially on the internet. But I feel like in this field of things, it took like thousands of years or whatever for humanity to get to the point where we could get to space. And I still don't think a human has set foot further than the moon, at least not on another planet. And so it was this huge like advancement in the direction of space exploration. And I don't really necessarily know a lot of the movies from the time, from the like 1970s and 80s, but I can at least point out a couple, like the Star Wars series, even though it's a lot more fantasy than other sci-fi, such as Alien, and then like E.T., extraterrestrial, E.T. Phone Home and all that.
E.T. Phone Home.
So, those two movies I can point out specifically. But it seems like generally a lot of the movies around that time were a lot more um optimistic about the future of space exploration and about alien life. And then it's uh like it seems like this movie, Alien, kind of contradicts a lot of the popular opinion and like optimism around space exploration and delving deeper into space. And I think kind of what I was trying to say in a way about the xenomorph is it kind of represents that potential and even likely danger of outer space and space exploration and kind of staying away from space exploration in a way. Okay, back to the video. Bye. Bow down, bow down. I will say my only kind of complaint about the visuals is that it was, for me at least, a little difficult to tell what was going on visually sometimes. Although I think maybe that was just me. There's also a robot in this in this movie. I'm gonna try my best not to give any like significant spoilers. I don't I don't think there's much that I could share that's many spoilers I could share that are like too significant. But there was a robot. Uh, there was a robot, I guess, character in the movie, and I kind of like. I want to say I do and don't like how it was handled, like the robot character, but I think I want to say it was handled well because I feel like there's kind of a thing with robots where it's like robots mimic humanity in a way, like on the outside, in a way that like you, at least in sci-fi, and honestly, especially with like the rise of AI and stuff, to some degree, like even in real life, robots and like AI and stuff kind of mimic humanity on the outside in a way that kind of tricks the human brain and humans into thinking of them as something human. Um, and so I think I think it was, I don't think, the movie Alien really aimed to kind of explore that concept a whole lot, but I think the like small integration of this robot character handled that kind of idea pretty well, all things considered. And now for the big thing about this movie, the big inspiration for what makes it so special, the art and the atmosphere and stuff. The inspiration for the art and stuff was I believe, Swiss artist uh, named H.R. Geiger, which I'm sure you've heard of him. He's pretty famous. He's the xenomorph was modeled after his, I think it was Necronom 4, in one of his, I'm assuming, art books, Necronomicon, um, which I find it interesting how the Necronomicon, the book, the Necronomicon, which the Necronom 4 is in, which is the design for the xenomorph in Alien. I find it interesting how it is named after the same book, the same like magic book in H.P. Lovecraft's stories, um, which I think it's like Greek and translates somewhere along the lines to like Book of the Dead or something like that. And so I find that parallel interesting. I don't know the significance of it, and I also don't think it's super like I think that's more I don't know if I'd call it an Easter egg, but I think that's more to do with Geiger than to do with Ridley Scott and like the creators of Alien. And also the xenomorph is like such an interesting word, I feel like, and apparently it's Greek. I don't know if it's meant to be Greek sounding or if it's like actually Greek, but according to somewhere on Google, I honestly don't remember where, it translates to other or strange for the xeno part, and then morph means like shape. Um, so basically it means strange shape, which, what a lovely descriptor for an alien, you know? But yeah, I would show some of H.R. Geiger's work on screen. I might show some of it, but a lot of it's pretty like iffy. Like I don't know how YouTube would do with it because it's pretty like it's like biomechanical art, so it combines kind of like very mechanical type things with like basically body horror in a lot of ways, and it's pretty disturbing at times. It's pretty cool, also pretty gross, but I think it's neat. It's pretty W. As for the story, I feel like the story was pretty basic. It's basically just about the alien sneaking onto the ship, and yeah, and how the crew members deal with it. But like, I feel like it's I feel like I've seen this like kind of story told multiple times. Mainly, I think in like sci-fi shows or like space sci-fi shows or something. But it like I feel like it was innovative when it came out in the same way that like Shakespeare is innovative in the sense that like Shakespeare created like all these different like tropes and stuff, but like you read Shakespeare and you're like, oh yeah, this trope, and then you're just like reminded that like, oh yeah, Shakespeare invented this trope, so it's not ununique or uninnovative or something. It's just that this has been copied like a million times, so that that's why I recognize it, not because this is copying something else. Um, but I mean I don't necessarily know any of that for sure, but I think it was a pretty basic story, especially for the first half. It was a very slow burn and like slow build up. It gets more intense around halfway through the movie. I still didn't really find myself like sitting on the edge of my sheet, sitting on the edge of my seat, like waiting for what was about to happen until like the like kind of final scene, sort of like right at the end, which you'll know when you see it if you haven't seen it, and if you have seen it, then you probably know. But yeah, and also I feel like kind of halfway through the movie when it takes its like kind of dark turn or whatever, and it things start to like really go bad and really pick up their pace. Like I feel like that's kind of branches off and like takes a darker turn from like what I feel like I've seen of the very basic, just like bad creature gets onto ship. Oh no, we gotta get it off or whatever and not die and stuff. Like I feel like, at least from what I've seen, because probably what I've seen is what I'm thinking of is just like kid shows or like Star Wars, uh whatever that one Star Wars show is with Edward Bridger. That one. I probably I'm thinking of that or something like that. But I feel like I've seen that kind of trope at least for the first half of the movie, like in a lot of different shows. But yeah, I don't really think the horror or like story was especially significant or good. I think once again that most of the reason this movie is so good is because of the art direction and the sets and the like design of the alien and atmosphere and stuff. So I'm gonna give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Once again, not for the story or the horror, because in my opinion, I didn't think it was super scary, but more so just for the artistic beauty of it. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Maybe consider the like and subscribe, and click video somewhere like right here. We should probably do it this way. Somewhere like somewhere. So help me. Somewhere like right here for like the Minecraft. My thoughts on the Minecraft trailer, and like somewhere like right here for cool gameplay for Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit. It's a really good game. I like it. You should go watch it. Yeah. Yeah, because it's so cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go play Skyrim and edit this later because I'm really tired. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye, Johnny. Yeah.